Say man, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Quez the Plug Man. I'm back in with the Bang Man. Today we got why the Michael Jordan versus LeBron James debate is over, bro. Me personally, bro, I feel like the debate over. At this point, LeBron's career is damn near over with, bro. So unless LeBron could magically win a ring in the next year or two, the debate really is over, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Jordan is over LeBron, but I want to see why he think the debate over. Before we get into it though, we on the road to 3K. We at like 2,900 subscribers, less than 100 subscribers away. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Like the video, comment y'all want to see next. Did I say subscribe yet? Make sure you subscribe, man. And we out. No, I'm playing. Let's get into it though.
Gets it to Jordan. Michael challenges and slams.
That's how you start the video?
Wasn't there. Michael in on top.
Let's get it. Should be a banger.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkinson. Hey, this is Sean Kemp. This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
What's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the basketball.
Hello, good day to y'all. How's it going? My name is Sean David, and I welcome you back to the Basketball Time Machine, your weekly dose of old school NBA basketball.
Let's get it.
In today's episode, I want to give you my personal take on why the debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, who's the GOAT, doesn't make sense at all, in my opinion.
It doesn't make sense. It's crazy. It's definitely, you can definitely debate about it, but Jordan the GOAT. That's, I just hate when people say it's not a debate, bro. Like, it's definitely a debate. Like, Jordan better than LeBron, like Jordan, like, but still, it's a debate, bro. There's so many different ways you can sway the argument. Like, oh, LeBron played longer. That's not like, it's a debate for sure, bro. It's a debate.
But before we start with that, let me ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. All right, you guys, let's go.
Let's do it. Look at that pass.
On the Mount Rushmore of basketball. One of the greatest players to have ever played the game.
Facts.
No doubt about it. He has exceeded expectation. And I have nothing but respect, profound respect for the greatness of LeBron James. I have told you before, he never was, he never has been, nor will he ever be greater than Michael Jordan. It will not happen. It's not even a debate for me.
No, I just think that, we're playing different eras. He's an unbelievable player. He's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. I know it's a natural tendency to compare eras to eras, and it's going to continue to happen. I'm a fan of his. I love watching him play. But it's, as you can see, our league is starting to expand on very talented players, and I think he's made his mark. He will continue to do so over a period of time. But when you start the comparisons, I think it is what it is.
I mean, I respect Jordan for giving LeBron his respect. I respect it. Like you said, bro, it's hard to compare different eras, bro. Jordan played in the 90s, 80s. It was tough, more physical. LeBron, he played in about three different eras. He played in that early 2000s era. He was drafted in the 03. He didn't play in that 2010s era. Now he playing in 2020. So like, it's levels to it. LeBron was the best player in 3 different decades. You feel me? 3 different decades. You feel me? Like, it's crazy when you think about it. It's levels to it. It's levels.
So I'm pretty sure that most of you guys expect the video with me saying something like, hey, you can't compare eras. That's why you can't say who's better, Jordan or LeBron James. And this is where I respectfully have to say the following. First of all, I think you can compare eras. And I know that this is probably a very exclusive opinion, and I'm pretty sure...
I feel like the only way you can compare eras is by doing this. You just compare them to how good they were the players in their era. Like, how good was Jordan compared to his era? Like, against other players in his era. That's how you do it like that. How good was LeBron compared to players in his era? I feel like that's the only way you can compare eras. It's just by seeing who's, like, how much better was you better than your competition? Like, I mean, you can do it like that, and Wilt Chamberlain easily the GOAT. Nigga averaged 50, dominated his comp. So, I don't know how you can compare eras to be
sure
honest.
that not everybody will agree, but again, this is my personal take, and please hear me out. Now, I think when you watch NBA basketball for 30 years, 40 years, or even 25 years or something like that, then you basically gain a lot of knowledge. And if you really study the game, then you can see that certain things develop, certain habits develop. And don't tell me, for example, that you don't agree on the following. Would you agree that NBA players today shoot the basketball better? In my opinion, it's a clear yes.
Yeah,
I think the overall basketball player in today's game is a way better shooter. Why? Well, the emphasis in practice and in games with shooting is just so much bigger.
That's facts, bro. Back in the day, they won't really practice. They won't tell them their team to go out and shoot 33s a game, 43s a game. They won't having drills for players just practicing threes, bro. That wasn't the game back then, so. That's why it's hard to compare eras, bro, because teams wasn't shooting like that because coaches didn't allow that, bro.
Emphasis in practice and in games
wasn't needed.
With shooting is just so much bigger. If you see videos of NBA practices and stuff or hear interviews, players nowadays, they don't practice the same way that they used to do in the 80s and 90s. They more shoot and work on their form and those things. So it's natural that certain things...
I mean, I just say... practice nowadays is more towards like one-on-one skill work, not like how practice was back in the day. Team practices, y'all scrimmage each other every place, y'all doing all these scrimmages, y'all running all these plays. I don't think it's like that. It's more like you come in here, you do your one-on-one, you do your skills, you work on your skills, get your skills right. You just getting better individually, and then then you had like the team practice where y'all doing all that. But I feel like the regular practice is just one-on-one skill work type of practice.
Once you practice them more than in the past, that they get better than in the past. So today's players are better shooter. Is defense better in today's game?
No.
I would say no, and I can explain even to you new school NBA fans, I can explain why. Now, defense has a lot to do with mindset, attitude, and just your general way how you approach the game. Back in the days, especially the 80s and 90s, the game was way more defensively minded, which means players said, and this is no bashing today's players, but
I'm gonna say this, bro. I was watching this one Larry Bird video, bro, and defense back then, bro, it literally used to be just 4 people in the paint, and then one person guarding the best player on the other team while he isoing. That's literally how I was watching. I'm like, bro, like this defense shop, this is the tough defense shop you talking about, bro. I'm literally just watching 4 people sit in the paint. It's basically the whole team in the paint. And then there's one other person guarding the best player on the other team who's isoing in the post or sitting at the mid-range isoing. I'm like, bro, what is this? As you can see in this Jordan clip right here, bro. Let me see.
80s and 90s, the game was way more defensively minded.
Hold on, what was this Jordan clip at?
Especially...
All right, look.
And
just look. What you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like everybody's in the paint, and then they got one player isoing. Like, it's just, I don't know, bro. Defense back then, the game was played differently. It was played inside out. I don't know, because it just seeing this type of defense is crazy. Like, what am I watching?
General way how you approach the game. Back in the days, especially the 80s and 90s, the game was way more defensively minded, which means players said, and this is no bashing today's players, but players had a little bit more pride in defense, which means
that's facts.
Nobody wanted to get embarrassed. Players had more of this mindset, like mano a mano, man against man. I don't want this guy to score on me. They would take it personal if somebody would dunk on them or shoot a basket against them. And even those, good example, like with the shot blockers back in the day, you had guys who would contest dunks way more often than it is today. Not because players were not afraid of being on a poster. Of course, players did not like to be on a poster back in the days, but it was more the pride and the mindset. And today, the game is way more offensively minded, which means players rather score than defend. And so to me, it's a clear case of the defense is way weaker today.
I agree wholeheartedly. There's definitely way more pride on defense back then than it is today. Today, people are scared to be on social media. They scared to be on the clip. So they see a player like Anthony Edwards attacking rack. They not gonna jump because you know why? They don't want to be seen on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, bro. TikTok. See them getting dunked on, bro. It's crazy, but that's how the players today think, bro. They scared to get embarrassed. Back in the day, they ain't care. You see, they playing. People that's guarding Jordan, don't matter who they is. They playing their hardest. They getting cooked. It don't matter. They gonna come back out there next possession and D up.
So I think it's easy not easy, but it's not so difficult to compare eras. I can see things that are better today and things which were a lot better back in the days. Now, when we talk about Michael Jordan and LeBron James and compare certain things, now, the one thing when it comes to who's the better offensive player, to me, is not even a question. For those of you, for the younger folks who haven't seen NBA basketball back in the days or who has never played basketball, yes, in today's game, the ball handling is a lot better and players can handle the rock a lot crazier than back in the days. But I tell you what, if these players today would have the hand checking and the same defense as the guys had from back in the days, they also wouldn't be doing all those crazy moves. Everybody who played basketball back in the days knows that when you get hand checked and you have really somebody penetrating you defensively and really harassing you, it is hard to do certain moves.
Okay.
And Michael Jordan back in the days had the hand checking, which was so hard to score on. You had every team had.
I feel like one thing that negates the hand checking is the fact that you couldn't double until the player had the ball in their hands. So I feel like that kind of negates the hand checking a little bit for our era, because it's like, bro, you couldn't get doubled until you had the ball in your hands. Like, imagine you couldn't double KD until he caught the ball. Like, come on, bro, he's averaging 40 easy. Let's be for real.
At least one or two shot blockers. So we're talking about huge giants whose primary job was to be the anchor on defense to kill everybody who was penetrating the paint. And I have a very interesting fact for you. If you go on basketballreference.com and you check how many blocks per game the average NBA player had in the 80s and the 90s, and you compare it to today's NBA, I can tell you that the difference is so huge. You had guys back then who would block, who had 5 blocks a game.
That's tough.
5 blocks a game, 5 blocks, 4 blocks a game.
That's tough, and it's because nowadays it's more jump shot heavy. It's the game more perimeter based, so it's less attacking the rack, less centers getting those type of blocks. I feel like Victor, maybe he could probably average about 4 blocks in his career one day. I feel like that can happen for sure.
And now the best shot blocker averages like 2.5 blocks. Why? Well, there aren't real rim protectors, and Jordan used to score on those.
I'm not. Hold on. You're taking it a little too far. It's rim protectors. It's the simple fact that the game. We're taking more jump shots now. We're taking way more jump shots, so it's harder to get blocks. How many nowadays you see centers, they getting blocks off threes. You won't see that back then. There's centers out there, they'll just have their hands and let them shoot. Like what?
Rim protectors all the time. On Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, Robert Parrish, all of those guys. So then another thing offensively, we don't have to talk about the fact that LeBron James's body is like the best NBA body of all time, no question. And
okay.
I know I'll sometimes come across like I dislike LeBron James. I don't dislike the guy. I think he's a phenomenal player. But to me, it always bothers me if people say that he's better than Michael Jordan, because that to me always indicates like you really haven't seen Jordan play and you haven't studied the game carefully. Then another tiny thing. Again, this is for you hardcore fans who really study the game. Back in the days, you also had the no easy basket rule, which means that even when a player goes to the basket and you already know that he will dunk the ball and he will score, you would still foul him. You would still contest the shot, foul him, try to block him. You make life for him difficult. At least 2 or 3 times a game. Nowadays, you see that players don't go for that anymore. If somebody blows you by and they're about to shoot a layup or a dunk, you just let them. You just let them. You don't even contest them. So you allow players to have another 2.
I mean, you mad players not injuring each other anymore? Like back in the day, you basically saying, "Oh, I know he got to go out and dunk, but let me push him out the area. Let me injure him." Like what? I'm glad players don't do that no more. Like what? You don't want to like what?
For 6 points, which you did not back then. So overall, offensively, if you have a player like Michael Jordan who averages between 30 and 37 points a game in an era where you had so many more obstacles defensively, in a defensively minded game, we don't have to talk about LeBron James in today's game still averaging 25 points a game. It's just such a huge difference defensively. Now, before we get to the defensive part, another thing that always is kind of interesting to me, and a certain thing that many people overlook is, many people say, yeah, LeBron James is the all-time leading scorer and all those things. What many people forget, and to me, I don't understand why. You guys have to remember, not only did Michael Jordan retire in his prime to sit out 1.5 years to play another half a year of where he averaged like 26 points, where he just wasn't in basketball shape. But you also have to remember, when he retired for the second time, he had a break of 3 years, came back and still averaged over 20 points. Now, of course, LeBron James is sensational that he's still averaging 20 plus points at almost the age of...
Averaging 25 plus points, not 20, 25 plus points. His whole career. Only season he didn't average 25 was his rookie year. Other than that, the other 20 seasons, bro, didn't average 25 points a game. Like, let's keep it a buck.
40. But just imagine what Jordan would have been like if he would have not had retired.
I mean, you can't knock LeBron because Jordan retired. What? That's Jordan. That's Jordan's fault he retired. Like, LeBron can't control him retiring. Like, you don't see LeBron retiring in his prime. Like, what? Even though Jordan had personal problems, his pops passed away, things like that. I'm not mad because I'm just saying though, you can't knock LeBron because Jordan retired though. That's not a debate. Like, I mean, that's not you can't. That's not how you you can't do that in a debate. Say you can't. Nah, what ifs in a debate? No, we're not doing no what ifs. He didn't retire. Hell no.
Break of 3 years of a sport and you come back, there's no way, especially when you're at that age, that you can regain or recapture the same level. It's impossible. The fact that Jordan was still able to average more than 20 points after a 3-year break in his mid to late 30s is incredible. And there's not even a question if Jordan would be the all-time leading scorer if he had not retired. So just from a logical point, Jordan retired, missed 4.5 seasons. LeBron James entered the NBA earlier, is playing in the defensively weaker era. Of course he has the scoring record over Michael Jordan. Anyway, defensively, pretty easy, pretty short. How many Defensive Player of the Year awards did LeBron James win? Yes, none. Jordan, 1. Great.
Okay.
Was that something typical for a shooting guard back in the day? No. Back in the day, shooting guards did not, or guards in general, did not win the award that often.
Same way nowadays.
At all. Then, does LeBron James in his early 30s challenge the best player on the opposing team defensively? No.
But hold on, before you finish that, let me say this. I'm not arguing that LeBron better than Jordan. I'm just arguing that it's actually a debate.
Hardly. And yes, it also has something to do with the coaching, what the coaching strategy is. But Jordan really wanted to have the best player, even though he had Scottie Pippen on his team. Yeah, and still they were fighting about who could guard the greatest player on the opposing team. Yeah, Jordan was a way better defender. And if you're looking at the complete basketball package of Michael Jordan and LeBron James, Michael Jordan, especially because of defense, is the way more complete player. Now, accolades. Yes, LeBron James made it to the finals so many times. And yes, LeBron James won a couple of championships. But, hey, LeBron James made it to the finals so many times. Why? Because he was playing in the weakest era of the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference teams were terrible in his period.
But we don't bring it up when Magic Johnson was going to the finals all the time in that weak Western Conference. Let's be for real. Well, his only comp was Houston.
It's not LeBron James's fault, but it's just the fact the teams were terrible. It was not so difficult to make it to the finals. You had like 2-3 teams that you had to get out of the way. And in Jordan's era, sorry, but you had at least 5 to 6 teams you really had to beat. Yeah? And then those years where LeBron James won the championship, please just take a look at how many All-Stars he had on his team. Yes, LeBron James is the best recruiter of all time, but if you stack your team up like that, to me, sorry, your championship does not have the same worth as if you just have one other All-Star on your team. That's why, for example, I also love Dirk Nowitzki for his...
Man, Jordan had an all-around great team, bro. I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, Jordan's team still considered one of the greatest teams ever. Went 72-10. Like, what? Nah.
2011 championship. That championship to me really counts double. Why? Because Dirk was like the only all-star in the team. That's how you win an NBA championship. With you being the main guy, or you have one sidekick, but that is it. And LeBron did not do that. So, to summarize, to me, as a basketball fan and somebody who really tries to be objective, even though I'm a Jordan fan, yes, of course, but believe me, if there was somebody who's clearly better than Jordan, I would say it. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to lie. But to even think that LeBron is on the same level, to me, sorry, you did not see Jordan.
I mean, W video, bro. I mean, I get his points, but at the end of the day, bro, it's a debate, bro. He's saying debate over. To me, debate is over. But I'm just honestly, I'm just doing this. I'm just arguing like why so that because people make it seem like it's not a debate at all. It's not really over until LeBron retires. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, people just make it seem like it's not a debate at all. It's definitely a debate to be had, bro. But yeah, before you got here, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Road to 3K. We almost got it. I'm out. And let me know what y'all want to react to next. I got y'all.